because I do have a screen share tonight. And it is 8:32, so we will get started. Happy Wednesday, everyone. When I made that Google form, I think I was, I don't know, not in the right brain or something, because I said like, would a 9 o'clock team call work? And what I meant was 8 o'clock, but 8 o'clock won't work for me, so forget it. We'll just keep them at 8:30 every other week, and I'll just have to miss the other call. And then the other thing is I asked who would be willing to share, and then I didn't have a spot for you to put your name on there. So if you are someone who would like to potentially share your story or talk about something on our team call, I know Stacy was one of them, but you can just let me know. So this week I've been super disorganized, and I wanted to be organized for tonight, so I did make a little slide to kind of put all the data from the form you guys filled out together. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And can you guys see that? Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, one of the questions that was asked was upcoming groups, and that is why I'm recording this and made a slide, was so that you don't have to like feverishly write all this stuff down. But those are our upcoming groups, and I will add them to the pin post. I just got really behind last week from being sick. But if you have ever wanted to talk about coaching on your Facebook page or tell what it's done for you or being part of this team, you're going to want to invite people to the Time for Empowerment. It's an event that we're having on Facebook next Tuesday at 9 p.m. So I've already started posting in the event. And the thing about an event is if you make it public, everyone will see those posts. And so next Tuesday at 9, we're going to be like filling everyone's news feed with videos about our team and going live. And I have a script. It's going to be very similar to the time we did it last time, except for we're going to spread those last posts out more. They got kind of like clustered together. But other than that, we're using like the same template. So if you're someone on the team who wants to invite people to that, and then you want to have a presence, just let me know, and then I can schedule you to post at a certain time. So it might say like 9:15, Stacy post this, and all you need to do is copy and paste it into the event and hit post. So that's what that event is. And then Carolyn and I are getting together a freezer meal workshop in Minot the first Monday of February. So if you have people in the Minot area, you're welcome to invite them to that. And then I'm really excited about the third thing on here. I have started working on a coach mentorship group with my success partner, Kristen. And she actually got the training from another, like a top coach, like a top 10 coach. And it's what she uses to train her new coaches. So if you're a new coach on Team Game Changers, or you are someone who was not trained coming in and you would like to do that, Kristen and I are going to start running that group that first Monday in February as well. So if you're a new coach or you have new coaches, we can get them in that training. And then we have our monthly clean eating group that we always run that first week of the month, and then a 21-day group to follow. So those are the kind of things that you can be inviting to. And then just some ideas I either have or I've heard floating around our team would be, I'm doing a free 5-day devotional group, and that's to gather interest for Feed Your Soul. It's a 21-day group I'm doing with like a faith-based theme with a Lutheran author and blogger. And then Stacy today brought up an awesome idea of doing like a March Madness challenge group. And I assume like we'd be teamed up with other people. Is that what you were thinking, Stacy?
Yeah, I was thinking that each coach would bring in like 2 or 3
people for their team. And then I haven't thought much beyond that, but kind of self-tracking, using like a Google Doc, what your team is doing each day and earning points for certain things, for certain daily challenges and stuff. So.
Okay. And since I know that one of the questions on the form was like, when is the next group going to be? You can pretty much always guarantee that at the beginning of the month, we'll have a team-wide clean eating challenge that anyone can invite to. And then that following week, we would start a 21-day group that requires Shakeology in a program. So that's kind of the general format we go with for any group. And then there's always like these free groups popping up that you can just choose to team up with a coach or run on your own. And then there's lots of templates and graphics for those in the team files. So I will update the pin post in the group. Our next call will be February 1st. So we're just going to keep them at 8:30. And then Super Saturday is set for Saturday, April 8th. And I understand that it's a date conflict with the, I don't know, what's it called, Jen? GABA?
Great American Bike Race.
Yeah. So it sounds like a lot of Team Hope members are going to be participating in that. And Valerie said that she would be gone on April 8th. And we had been wanting to do a Super Saturday in Minot anyway. And I think the date they picked to do an alternate Super Saturday for Team Hope is when I will be in Punta Cana. And I don't really want to miss out on Super Saturday because it's big for our team and it's something that we could invite challengers to. So I was just curious about your guys' idea of doing a Super Saturday here up north on the actual Super Saturday date of April 8th. Couple ideas for venues. I could check with Chris about using Zion. Also my church here. And I know the first time Valerie held a Super Saturday in Bismarck, she had it at her home. And we do have a big house, but I think one of those churches would be awesome too. So just kind of wanted to get your guys' feel on Super Saturday. Anyone?
I'm game for whatever.
So am I.
No, that's prom. So I'm the prom advisor, so I have to be at prom that day.
Prom. I do not miss that. I was the prom advisor for years.
Yeah, so.
All right. So that's just something that's coming up that we'll need to discuss. The next thing is today Courtney asked me if it was too late to like register for the 2018 Success Club trip. And so I sent her some information and explained how the 2018 trip you like would have already needed to earn your spot to register. So like a new coach wouldn't be eligible for that, but all of the work you do this year would determine your rank for registering for next year. So like not to give up, but if you're a new coach, you need to know that you can become a success starter by hitting Success Club 5 your first 3 months. And then that would earn you a free ticket to Coach Summit in July, which is in New Orleans, July 13th through the 16th. My travel plans are to fly out the 12th and back the 16th. People were asking about hotel rooms. So I did search back in my email and we are staying at the Ace Hotel, which is near where everything is at. I did reserve 4 rooms, but we don't need to keep all 4. They're $219 a night, which is actually way cheaper than anything else that Beachbody would have in the block. And then what we did last year is we just crammed 3 people. We would have crammed 4 in a room because we're never there. We never sleep. And it's like, it looks like a decent hotel. It does have a pool on the roof, which could be fun for Sunday. But I just wanted to let people know, like, if you, that you can still sign up to get your ticket to Summit. And you don't need to worry about hotels because I have enough for 16 team game changers to go. So, and I think we're up to like 6 of us maybe. So we still have plenty of room if people are still interested in going to Summit. All right. Man, my mouse is touchy. Okay, some questions from the form were consistency, which we're going to cover tonight, February groups, how to create graphics, cold market training, which would be like developing relationships with people you're not friends with on social media, relationship building or forming, the business side of coaching, how to ask for referrals, coach placement, and helping others be engaged in coaching. And we can't obviously talk about all of those things tonight, but it gave me a good idea of what to do future calls on and who to get for speakers. So I'm going to talk about consistency tonight because I've actually given several consistency calls, but I did want to touch on the business aspect. If you feel like you don't know what you're doing business-wide, you need to get it business-wise. You need to get into our self-paced training and do the action steps and or join the coach mentorship that my partner Kristen and I have starting on the 6th. Asking for referrals. The best way to do that, I did want to touch on that, would be to do like things like I did tonight. I went through on Sunday and looked at my coach portal for my challenge tracker app and looked at like which clients were like really consistent. And this week that was Kelsey. And so I shouted her out publicly on Facebook, and that gets other people seeing what she's doing, along with giving her the encouragement and the props she so much deserves for being like 7 out of 7 in both categories this week. Some of the other things that you can do is announce a challenge group in your current challenge group and ask challengers like as a daily challenge. If you have found these groups valuable, can you please share on your Facebook page and tag me in your post about what you've gained from the groups? Doing those, a lot of times on Thursdays in challenge groups, we'll do like a throwback Thursday to a time you felt strong or beautiful and tag your coach. And then usually in the post people say like, I'm doing a challenge group right now with my coach and today we were supposed to, and then it's in that way you're getting a referral without ever asking for one. I guess I've never specifically asked for referrals. People have just then seen what their friends are doing and then seek me out. So that's the best way I have found to get friends of friends to join groups. Also, when you do free groups, to say, comment below if you want in and tag 2 friends to join you. And then you can friend those people and get them added to the group if they want. Don't just add people to your group if they don't want to be in it, but then that allows you to start having a conversation with them. Coach placement is something for like 100 other calls. So we won't touch on that, but if you have specific questions, please message me. And then helping others be engaged in coaching. I assume that means like people who are already coaching, but maybe not engaged in it or are not consistent, which is what we are going to touch on tonight. But basically, we can't want it for them. Sure, I would love every coach on my team to want to actively coach, but if it's not for them, it's not for them. And we just need to meet everyone on their journey where they're at, and that's okay. It's not for everyone. But if it is for you, you need to be consistent. I also asked about objections you guys are getting so that we know also what could be covered on future team calls this year. And the ones that came up over and over were time, money, like having no energy to prep, and don't like shakes. And I've been talking to Stacy and Jen about this a lot, and I don't get a lot of objections anymore because I've posted a lot about all of my objections when I started. And so I love these two quotes. An objection is not a rejection. It's simply a request for more information. And getting objections means you're getting through. It means you have people thinking. And so when I started, I also did not think I had time. I had a 3-month-old. And so when I started crafting my posts about getting started in challenge groups, I talked about how busy I was and how I didn't have time, but how it was easy to find 30 minutes. My husband said we couldn't afford it money-wise. He said you can do it for 1 month and that's it. And then 1 month in, we saw how much it was saving on our grocery bills, and I had lost 9 pounds and then another 9 pounds. So I lost 18 pounds in 42 days, and by the 3rd month, he was started. And so I post about how it saves us money on our grocery bill, how it's cheaper for Tyler than a school lunch, how it saved us on over-the-counter medicine because he doesn't need Prilosec anymore, how it's reduced my thyroid medicine, how fewer trips to the doctors, how my kids aren't on Miralax and Circulose and all those gross things that it took to get their tummies moving on their own anymore. And so when I'm posting about challenge groups and getting started in Shakeology, I'm weaving my prior objections in so that by the time you invite someone, you've answered almost all their questions. And if they keep meeting you with objections, it just means that they're not ready. And that doesn't mean they're never going to be ready. It just means they're not right now. If you have people coming to you saying like, oh gosh, prep takes so long, I don't have time or energy for that, then you need to be going live and showing them tips and tricks, how you can prep faster and how it saved you time and money. And don't like shakes kind of goes into posting about the objection of how much the shakes cost. I wasn't a shake person either. I had never drank a shake before. And when I actually tried Shakeology, I didn't like it. And so then now I post about how it replaces sweet treats for me, how I wasn't mixing it right, how I had to find a flavor I liked. And I'm just upfront and honest about that. And because of that, I'm not saying I don't ever get an objection, but rarely. So I would recommend 1 to 2 times a week at least posting about objections. And if you're having a hard time posting about coaching, I'm going to post in the team files. It might be in there already, but I'm going to make it a little clearer, but it's 3 pages of social media ideas to make social media presence an ongoing sneak peek into being a coach. And so if you're unsure about what to post about every day, instead of just posting, oh, here's my workout or here's my shake, kind of to go a little deeper and talk about why you are doing those things and start answering people's questions before they even come to you. And as soon as people are liking or commenting on your post, to personally message them. People are much more likely to have like a conversation with you about their questions and concerns over like a one-on-one message. And even just to tell people like when they're liking your workout post, hey girl, thanks so much for supporting my journey. It's not always easy to put myself out there on Facebook. So it's so nice to have people like you cheering me on. What about you? Are you on a health and fitness journey? And it just allows that conversation to keep going. So we will break apart these objections. And I know Stacy said she'd be willing to talk about the time objection and time management of herself on a future call. So we will get that scheduled. But something that came up a couple of times on the form was consistency. And I will also put a YouTube video of the last time I did a consistency call because it was like 30 minutes. And I'm not going to talk about it for 30 minutes tonight. But I do want you guys just to think about what can happen if you are consistent in all of these 5 aspects of coaching for 1 month. They say in businesses like this that your business is 90 days out. So the work you're doing this month is going to pay off in 90 days. And so just trying it on for a week and then you're not getting any traction or people aren't interested, it's not long enough to see if it will pay off. So if you're taking the time to tune in tonight, I think it's because you're interested and you want to do something. And you ask these questions because they're on your heart. And so just don't give it longer than a week or two. What if you're consistent for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months? It's going to pay off in that 90 days and you will see. And you can't just be consistent in one of these 5 areas. You really need to be well-rounded. And the first part, and it's the part I'm struggling with right now, I'll just be upfront and honest, is in your own journey. Being a product of the product, which means doing your workout, your nutrition, and drinking your shake. Right now I'm injured and I can't work out, and it is killing me because I don't have a workout to post daily, and so I have like no way to connect with people. And so that's really hard for me right now. So instead I'm trying to post about my struggles. It's very important as a coach that you stay true to your own journey, so that you're true and people see that you're in it for the right reasons and that your health and fitness matters first. And the next thing you need to be consistent in is inviting others to join you. You can do your workout and drink your shake every day, but if you're not asking others to invite, you're not inviting others to join you on your journey by starting their own, you're probably not going to go very far in coaching. And so the training groups will talk about how to invite. And posting about a group on Facebook is great, but you also need to be sending out those personal invites. And I know we talk a lot about in coaching the power of 3. So adding 3 people every day, just talking to 3 people every day, inviting 3 people every day, and then following up with 3 people every day. And if that's too overwhelming for you, that's okay. Start your inviting journey where you're at and do 1 invite every day. That means at the end of the week, you've invited 7 people. Maybe you bump it up on the weekends and invite 3. But just by doing those invites every day. The other area of consistency is sharing your journey. It doesn't just work if you're like drinking your shake and doing your workout, but not sharing with anyone what you're doing. And the best way to do that is through social media, whether that be Facebook or Instagram. I know like Carolyn's really big on Snapchat. But you need to be showing people what you're doing and what's working and why you're doing it. Not just like, oh, I did 21-day fix today, but why you like the 30-minute workouts, why you like working out in your home, what it's done for your results, what it's done for your mindset. People are going to relate to your story, and people aren't really going to care what you say until they know that you care. And that's why you need to be reaching out to people. The other place I really like to encourage the coaches on our team to be consistent is in our challenge groups. This is another area I'm struggling in. Last week with being sick, it was very hard for me to even check in. Like I almost was non-existent in life. But like right now I can't do any of the fitness challenges. And so that's kind of what got me down on how I was doing as a coach. But as a coach, you need to be checking in. You need to be doing the daily challenges if you expect your challengers to do them. So just being like a good model for them. And then this is where I am also at right now. In time, oh, that's a typo, but it should say in tough times, or in times when the going gets tough, just to stay consistent. Thank goodness last week on Monday before I got sick, I had sent out about, I don't know, maybe 50 invites. So while that doesn't necessarily make up for the invites I wasn't able to send the rest of the week, I felt a little bit better that I had gone like above and beyond on Monday. And so in times when your life is really stressful, and I'm having one of those weeks right now, I really didn't want to work today. But I remembered this quote, and it's one of the quotes that I have actually on the desktop of my computer. Lack of consistency can bring on a lack of trust. Right now, I'm afraid people are going to think that I've quit working out, that I just gave up. And so that's why I'm sure that I'm trying to post about my frustrations and my injury, because this is not a choice. I do not want this. And I don't want people to lose interest in my journey because they think I've quit. So those are kind of the 5 areas I really encourage coaches to be consistent in. And then I have like these quotes that I kind of use when I'm thinking about showing up every day. Because I'm a recovering perfectionist, I love this first one. Consistency is not perfection. It is simply refusing to give up. I did not feel very good last Saturday, but I knew I had work to do. And so I sat down and I just did a little bit. I wasn't going to give up on the whole week, even though most of the week was out of the window. I just did a little bit. I really think of the second quote in terms of our journeys. And I'm guilty of this. If you're persistent, you will get it. If you are consistent, you will keep it. In the last year, my nutrition has really fallen off. And as a result, so have my results. And so I need to practice what I preach here a little. And that's what I'm doing here in the new year. Third one, long-term consistency trumps short-term intensity. That's kind of what I'm talking about like last Monday. Sure, I invited 50 people on Monday, but what if I had done that on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday? It's that 10X rule. In one of our push groups that Stacy, Jen, and I are in right now, we're reading the 10X rule. And so that's just 10 timesing your goal, which means you need to bump up the amount of work you put in to hit those goals. I think of these next 2 a lot in terms of our health and fitness journeys. We have invited people to join us on our journeys. They've started their own, and then maybe something happens in your life and you just quit. And that lack of consistency can bring on a lack of trust. And here people have trusted you in their health and fitness journeys, and then you just disappear. And I'm afraid that's what possibly gives coaches like a bad name, that they were just in it to like sell a challenge pack or sell Shakeology. But that trust is really built with consistency in relationships. And the last one, I didn't have like the authors of the other ones. I figure you guys wouldn't mind if I didn't cite my sources, but this is the one that I had to tell myself over and over today when I just wanted to take a nap because I was so tired from dealing with what's going on with my oldest son. But you cannot get much done in life if you only work on the days when you feel good. And Jerry West said that, and that is so true. And so I just want to challenge you guys to think about how you could carve out 1 hour of your day. If you could do more, great. But if you could just carve out 1 hour, so that's 7 hours a week, to see what coaching could do for you and those that you love. Like, could you help friends and family? And like, I'm so excited to share that my dad is starting to drink Shakeology. His girlfriend is starting. And it's going to help his nutrition. He had like a huge lunch today with some guy friends, and he made the lunch, and he said, I cooked this big meal and I sat down and I wasn't even hungry for it because I was so full from the shake. And I just had to chuckle at that. But could you meet friends like we have? Would it help you pay a bill? Like at the beginning when I started, it paid a week of daycare. It paid other bills here and there. Would it help you get out of debt like it's helping us? Would it help you take your spouse on a trip or even earn a trip? For me, would it help you leave a job? And you don't necessarily have to not like your job to want to leave it. But for me, it's just granted me the freedom of time. I don't have to get up at 8 o'clock and report to anyone. I am my own boss. And so I always like to end our calls And we're not ending. We can chit chat after this with these 2 quotes though. But if you don't go after what you want, you'll never have it. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't step forward, you're always in the same place. And then this next one to me really relates to coaching, from Zig Ziglar. You can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. So I will stop the screen share. You guys have any questions or anything you want to talk about? That was a lot. I know. It's hard in a short amount of time. Hey, Kelsey, you're a little rock star this week. Sorry.
How's your back feeling?
My back is better. I think it was just the leftover flu bug, most of it. Tyler still doesn't feel very good. How about you?
Mine's better too.
Good.
Chiropractor appointments. I'm still taking it easy because I don't want to make it way worse. But
Right?
even in yoga, like just folding over, I can still feel like a really bad twinge on the one side that I can barely push myself even in yoga. So that's really frustrating. But what do you do?
I know. It's my mindset is not great with not working out. It's really hard.
It is hard.
I didn't realize how much I relied on it and for how long I've been doing it. Like over 2 years, it's been like how I started every day. So
It's a huge stress reliever for you, and when you can't do that you don't really have anything to release your stress from, and you guys have been so sick, it's hard.
I know.
It was hard before you were sick. Now the last week's been awful. So yuck.
Yeah. Kelsey, today Tyler realized that your dad was his lab partner in Indy when they were
that's hilarious.
national FFA. He's like, is Kelsey your challenger? I'm like, yeah, she's a coach on our team. He's like, oh, I know her dad. They'll probably get to hang out this week. He's headed down to Bismarck tomorrow.
Okay. Cool.
They have, I don't know, seems like they always have something.
Yeah. I gave my parents one of my extra portion containers, and I wanted my dad to talk to Tyler while they were down in Bismarck last weekend. But I don't know. He probably didn't. Yeah, I made them shakes over Christmas, and they're like, I don't know. And so we'll get there.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Yeah, I can't believe my dad started asking me about it, and he's so unhealthy. And so we sat down yesterday with the brochure. Like he was like digging through my stuff on my table, and he's like, "So tell me about this," because he was taking some other expensive vitamin off the internet, and his doctor said like, you're paying way too much for it. It's nothing really special, and you're probably not absorbing a lot of it anyway. So then I said, he's like, can I just give you my credit card and you can order it now? And I'm like, no, well, tomorrow when you pick up the boys, I'll make you a shake. So he had chocolate vegan today. But I don't know. It just is proof that, like they say, like you're thinking about who to invite, not to rule out anyone, because it's not just like a weight loss supplement. In fact, that's not what it is at all. But so that's exciting for me. Because like after hearing like what happened with like Valerie's dad, I just had like kind of given up on my dad. Like you can only ask someone to change so many times. And I'm not saying like it's gonna, I mean, like Tyler told him tonight, he's like, so I'll just drink this and lose weight. And Tyler said, no, like you need to change your eating habits. Like when he wasn't hungry at lunch today, if he would have just sat down and ate another huge lunch, but he said, I only had a few pieces of fish, like little perch fillets or whatever. And I'm like, well, there you go. Like, then it helped you. So I don't know. We'll see. But Does anyone have any like thing positive to share? I feel like it's kind of just January is a hard month.
Yes, it is. I don't know, Stace, I think our group is going pretty well. I think our challengers are pretty active in it. I have quite a few in there that are loving it, and others that are just doing it but not like sharing, not posting. They're just, not sharing with the group, but they're really doing it. So
I agree. I finished quarter fourth today.
yay! I'm finishing tomorrow. Tomorrow morning I'm finishing. Stacy's been waking me up at 5:30 in the morning, and I'm not being very good about it.
I'm ready. I'm ready for something.
And
for
Courtney,
you.
I'll be in touch with you about like new coach training stuff, okay? Because we're gonna get cut off here. And I don't think tonight I can extend it, but thank you guys all, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Have a good week. Bye.